Alright. Hello again. Alright, today we are going to attempt a run up to Fancy. I'm not sure if it's even possible. Some co-workers are going out to make assessments and they've asked to piggy along. Well, piggyback? Tag along. So we're gonna try to see if we can get there. So we're just leaving Kingston. It was raining this morning. It was raining last night. I'm really hoping those rivers out there are quiet. Ooh, that's a big if. But yeah, we're hoping they're quiet. Kingston is dry. The forecast for up that side should be dry. We have a dry patch this morning. Very low chance of rain. So I'm hoping it remains that way and that the rivers behave themselves. We don't want it to be as eventful as Petit Model. No. Let's head out of town. Alright, so here we're passing through Bayabu. And next I think it is Connery. And you'll see these areas are back to normal pretty much. These areas were not evacuated. Georgetown was. But Georgetown is a little bit dusty, but starting to get back there. Persons are back in. As we drive up, I'm traveling with co-workers, sometimes one, sometimes two, at 1.3. So the voices that you hear is not me talking to myself, there are other persons riding with me. But these are the areas leading up to the furthest point. This is a lot of stuff that washed down low. Just schooling them. This is a much different story than the last time we come up there. It's like what happened, it's what year that was? And the old set of sand came down.
2013?
One of them anyhow. Alright, what we see happening in Sandy Bay here is a lot different than what we saw on the 22nd. Things have gotten a lot worse in terms of a lot of this material that we're driving on has washed down off the hillsides. This was not even here when we drove up there. When we drove right after the eruptions, this was looking better than this. So it just goes to show that the eruption is probably not even the worst of it. There's a lot that could happen after, especially when the stuff starts washing off of the hillsides. I've seen it in Petit Bodel, we've seen it in Chateaubelair when I did that drive. Wherever it's on the banks, once we get rains, it's coming back down.
We must see where I stop again. Yeah. We didn't have all this when we passed.
I will check it back, but I don't think we had so much. No. I've been driving up and down so at all, not all. This is washed down.
People trying to put the thing against the gate, it like you get pushed out.
This one here will take all because they run down inside. As I drive and chat with co-workers, I hope you could understand the dialect. It's not too difficult, I think, but for those who are outside of St. Vincent, I'm really hoping it doesn't cause too much of an issue. But yeah, that's how we talk. Somebody else at church. Right, you want cheap now, man? Troy.
No insurance, go I insure you.
Yeah, insurance ain't gonna be too kind to you up here.
time they get heavy rain, this is where you're going to get. Everything got change.
I wonder, well, from where they down here, the contours that they're up on the hill done full up already. And they can't keep up with this. But you had to re-establish them, it will slow down. Because remember after they had that, they went up and dig back the contours and then they were supposed to get the persons to change from tying cattle on the land, which is one of the things they said would have affected it.
I remember when I hold it at a massive stone. When they come down up and they get buried, you know.
Up inside here?
Yeah.
I don't think we had nothing.
Well, they used to live up inside the
Well, I guess I can answer
They
now.
say the other day.
All sort of seaweed on the beach. Here is where the big question mark is. Garifuna Village Market. Yep, that looks like a very large question mark. And that looks like a turning
He
spot.
wasn't like it, this.
I think it's a washout.
The video where they had the other day.
Washout.
Wash out. Now go across there.
Enter sketchy section of road part 1. Let's go, bees. So good.
It's a pretty rain when you come.
A little bit unsettling. It's a little bit unsettling. You might have a sleep off. And what this is a river, the bridge there's somewhere underneath it. Hey,
Okay.
a deep bridge too.
What is it? NDP one?
And if we, I'm not sure what that means. Western Union, a Wasted Union.
Not just one.
post office. The roof under that and then done cave in.
Moving at all, boy. They said they were rich fancy.
Here we're starting to climb up to an area known as Sion Hill. Yes, this is the second Sion Hill. There is a Sion Hill closer to Kingston as well. But they call this area Sion Hill. Same spelling, just between New and Old Sandy. Lot of stuff wash off of this hillside. The thing with the hillsides, the stuff ain't gonna stay on it too much. Mostly use that tin film material.
Not since the super not run up in them already.
No, we don't reach up here with cleaning it. It's just rain doing it thing. Go down back. At this point we stopped to take a look over at Sandy Bay, even though this is very similar looking to Kingstown with the three main streets. But ultimately we got back on the road and continued up.
Think loving look, man.
These areas are moving very slow because out of extreme caution and not having driven this area since the eruption, I don't know what is on the surface, so I engaged my lowest gear and crawled down. That is so wash off. This was the part that I thought would have been treacherous to clean. The rain cleaning it. Better so. Alright, at this point we're heading down into what is known as Old Sandy Bay. I was trying to do some reading as to where Old Sandy Bay and New Sandy Bay originated. I'm not completely clear yet, but I believe it has something to do with the 1902 eruptions. From some reading, I saw that there was a parcel of estate bought in Sandy Bay to relocate persons who were evacuated in those eruptions, but I still need some more reading. But we're heading into Old Sandy Bay. This is what Old Sandy Bay now. Coming down from Sion Hill and into Old Sandy Bay. There used to be a sign right there.
Got a well somewhere.
Yeah, the well is there. Seems like a concrete cover to it, that is now. Let's see some of that. That's a very broad beach now. Ay, ay, ay. Talking at least 4 or 5 feet up in the upper side. I think this is a carbon slipper. I should note at this point that a number of these rivers that I'm highlighting are not actually flowing on a normal basis. They're dry gutters, or dry rivers if you want to call them that. But when we do get rains, they get active, and as you can see here, they bring a lot of stuff. Rouges.
It had a building been on the, just on the outside of the same Rouges gap.
Look, we don't pass it.
Yeah,
Don't pass it.
Okay. That's the marker.
Oh. Oh, wow, wow. Untouched.
Somebody walking some chains up, eh?
Coconut. Let's see some of this.
You just press. And you go on 4-wheel, you say press, come out. Yeah, when you mean a behave bad 4-wheel drive, you just come on, just so.
Speed sensors.
And just, that's how easy now you come in.
Technology.
Something by the wheel, the back wheel, this or no?
Speed sensor more than likely. So it can pick up the speed.
And then, see them here hand on by we got thing, break the wire and join it back. It been done, the thing been done, never been put the wheel behind it, so it's cut out.
Wow, seaweed. Seaweed galore.
Damp material.
And fill up there.
Yeah. Put in shelter wire on.
See if at least I could give me the entrance to point.
whatever.
Home is home. Current water, Sana Washway. Home is indeed home. From my limited reading, I discovered that most of the casualties in the 1902 eruption were on the windward side. And one reason given for this is that though on the leeward side you have a clear view of the volcano from a lot of the settlements, you could see something is happening. On the windward side, you don't. Persons would have thought that, okay, it's just some clouds or something, but the leeward knew what was happening very early, so they left. There's one thing that's going to happen though. Sun can't set up here again right now. Nobody want it.
Hello? No, here we're just changing something. We're at point now. Heading down.
They're right there.
Behind them.
Okay. Yeah, we just see our left. Yeah. Alright.
First time I drive come up fancy. When I come up the hill there, I take a left turn think well I'm going back. I feel so shame.
You may swing up well, you probably
swing
know
up
Sandy
above.
Bay. Because Sandy Bay could mix you up easy too.
But I didn't know Sandy Bay, because I used
Oh.
to come thing, but I never go fancy. So I swing up in there today now. So no. The man up there laugh. See, plenty people that do it.
So between Point and Owia. Now this is probably still Point, I don't know.
This is ashed up on the punch.
It's hard to imagine that all of this come out of suffer. It's like when we go down Richmond, I was standing on the beach and watching the volcano and watching the amount of sand that was deposited by the river. You stand up on this high bank, you wash out where you want to wash out and left the rest. But it's so much material. They make you feel small. Real small.
And a lot more still in the upper valleys, they say.
You know, I keeping my eye out for the piece of gold when I say my day.
Ah, you ain't got no gold.
The other time I find a piece of rock in Agrabay and it had some, look like it is glass inside of it.
A lot of our stone looks like that. If you go like random beach on the leeward side, you'll find a lot of really pretty stones.
One is currently back in the mirror saying, you do some good and bad, boy.
Yeah, do plenty cleaning up there for sure.
Somebody want biscuit? Push out.
Oh wow, look at that. Sand so black and the water so white. Some.
Don't watch them poorly. It's not currently in their paper.
Owia. Everybody seemed to be very quiet while driving this. Yes, the concentration was deep. I think I'm going like this. I wonder how much people actually living up here now. Not seeing very many though. See one or two. I hear somebody now. This would be hard. Hard jamming. Wait. Why didn't Paul fall over again?
Hurricane?
Elsa?
Elsa?
The whole day, just come river when we're in the boat. believe Windlow have good set of sand, dry rock. Just
Rock gutter.
Rock gutter, yeah. The stream come big.
The whole thing open up there now. Sketchy road section number, I can't remember what. Alright, that didn't go too badly. As we could hear on the radio, we are listening to a St. Lucian radio station. We're close. We're close. Actually, from these areas, especially Fancy, you could get a very good view of St. Lucia on a clear day. You could see the pitons, I think. Yes, it's very clear. But we weren't so lucky today.
Shot. Next time if they have to come back up and make sure you walk with a shovel.
And a cutlass.
Yeah. When I had my car first, my car used to have a shovel and a cutlass. It's really sharp. At the time I'm going through Newark and South Lee one. I'm going through a place they call Little Peace. Through that crossing road. So I see a way I could pass. I just cutting out underneath. I had much limb for cut out. I pulled my cutlass down and started to fire some chop. And he realized Jack Spaniard did it. Why the whole arm from me? And it's just in my head enough. But for the balance it in my head feel tight. Yeah, I say alright. I don't know, because what we say size and nest, I say, you have to get rid of this nest. And allow them to settle down. And I'm gonna let go one plant and I run. If I got another piece of limb to cut, I cut the limb after and I drive on that. That's funny, I always want to mash me. Sting me up good, say no boy. The next week I have to get organized with some guys and thing wrong there.
Oh gosh. As you talk one try flying.
Hear your name.
Yeah.
Famous rock gutter. How much persons died here again?
5? Between 5 and 7.
All students. That was a tragic day, but
It's the calmest me ever see here, you know. And every time we come out here again, it's such a big wave and things just lashing in it.
The date of the rock gutter tragedy was indeed tragic. The 12th of January 2015. It was a day that shook the whole island. I mean, wow. These were young people heading to school in a school bus, well, not really a bus. Had no clue what was coming. May they rest in peace. But as sad as it is, it reminds me that we're to always be prepared to go. Nobody wants to go. Nobody wants to go. So that was rock gutter. January 12th, 2015. At this point we were getting closer to Fancy, we knew that. But exactly how close, I just couldn't remember. So we were guessing, because it could just be around the next bend. I think this is it now. There's... no.
Don't remember Palestine, eh?
Yes, that's what I'm looking for too.
Sion Hill and then there's
Yeah, they go a little. Does it look like it now? Yep. There it is. Well, this side ain't got nothing to do, man. That's why they say Fancy clean. But the hill sections wash off.
The last project we did in Fancy.
I want to go there, but it sounds like we can't reach. Cottage. Cottage is the one that we walked, but then there's a road there now. But I think down here is damaged. And we can't pass.
Last time the river did do plenty damage. It's a big stone.
Yeah, hey, so. I think hey, so is the problem, man. Last time we did it again. Carry all sort of sand through there. Yeah, it's
what we're seeing through this.
Ending up approaching us soon?
Not tomorrow. Tomorrow is actually a sunny day. I think from Wednesday might have a little rain. There's a pattern I noticed. Midweek is rain. You always get a little rain midweek.
So if it's just about here and another storm come back here with us. I feel we're getting away from one of them.
I think it's time for we banging.
It's our season.
With everything like that, you know?
It's our season.
I think we don't take plenty blows.
Nah.
Corona, the
Volcano.
volcano,
This is our season, we have to just take away.
and dengue.
Dengue, nobody don't remember dengue again.
Yeah, then I don't remember dengue.
Dengue not in. Definitely loving my beast today. Fancy. Nearly to the end of the road. I wanted to do this drive before up here went that bad. I was wearing my mask. Had passengers, now I'm alone. But yeah, I wanted to come to Fancy before the eruption. Didn't get the chance to, and I didn't do as Hog say, bathe in the first water. Had a chance while I was on some vacation from my day job and didn't get around to it. Didn't make the time for it, that is. Now we ended up with this. I would have loved to see this before, but this is what we have. Still nice to come.
The house spot. How me go feel?
Yeah, that's why I was safety from first world. And you know they say suffer they blow again, me go away. Tell my family make it come now. Me tell my mother to go, come now. Yes, one man they down there time. The night when they suffer bro. Man we stop on, we say man this is done. Since Saturday. When so for body Friday though. Everybody has studied that day. Everybody says Saturday when they see all 11 o'clock the place still dark. 11 AM now. And then suffer start to rumble.
Yeah, I want to see it. I hope none of them watch
suffer
now.
start to rumble. See me tell you we been at the room and I used super rumble. The night when all them lighting and all kind of thing. Boy the man. Say one of them decide to stop in the house, so I want you to come and again, you know. The man him say, you know, 3 man disappeared, you know, he might not come out of Sandy Beggar. The man didn't run out of Sandy Beggar.
Me live in them kind of area here and thing. Me bust it all.
Me not think they go take.
No, I think, but Fancy will do it again. You realize Fancy ain't gonna set a thing.
One of the hurricane interference.
So you can drive the road and come back out through there?
Dot whatever.
Dot over, is that?
The say so. But if you're going by the cemetery, you could come right away around.
You could come on.
Well, you know, I want to see. I owe my beast a drink after this day. It deserved a full tank of gas for what I put it through. Even at the end of all of that, I still drove this road because I just wanted to see. I couldn't get so far and not see it. Alright, we'll be in Chateaubelair in a little bit.
Dove a pitch and ball. Pitch and
Shouldn't say fire there, right?
Huh?
What's it from up there?
Nah, it's like third time.
I mean, all behind you and stuff like that.
I think we had went for the wrong.
Went wrong.
1 foot.
I really wish this day was brighter and sunny and clear. Then we could have seen St. Lucia. That would have been really cool. I once drove up here and sat under that coconut tree that we passed. I didn't want to leave. And this was before the road was finished.
Like for their lunch, we got no water and they got no light, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So then I think them fridge. And give us kind of
them people must be getting taken by boat, you know?
I believe is how we had to operate here right now.
Okay, so what the bad spot there, all the big stone and then.
Save that story list. But in the case of seemed easy, what did they do?
Right.
Remember here so it was tight.
Yeah, you had to put a wall and wide.
Oh. So we made it to Fancy and back. For some reason the drive down seemed more treacherous than the drive up. I think it has to be with some of the slopes that we drove up going up. But driving down them on the slippery surfaces, that was a little scary. Yeah, but thank God we were back in one piece. Well, different pieces, but yeah. So from what we see, there's still a lot of work to be done on the windward end. But that's it for our work here now. So as usual, I say God bless, take care, and I'll see you on the next one. God bless, guys.